Good evening. These are the stories making the headlines in the Hot 7 Nightly News.
The SLHDA foresees major fallout for the entire tourism industry as a result of the closure of Blue Hotel. Police ramp up efforts to clamp down on violations by reckless motorcyclists. And a human resource professional laments the lack of proper HR training in the workplace. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
It is Wednesday, the 28th of November 2018. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. The abrupt closure of the Blue Hotel is set to leave a sting on St. Lucia's tourism industry. So says the former director of the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association, Noorani Aziz. Aziz is of the firm belief that the hotel's closure will ultimately have a damning effect on every facet of the tourism sector. Solange Alfred reports.
The Blue Hotel, once teeming with vibrant employees and excited visitors, remains a shell of a hotel with only a few security guards left on property to keep persons from entering and inquiring. Hot 7 News was informed that on Saturday, 24th November, staff of the Blue Hotel were informed that their services would no longer be needed. As the word of the abrupt closure traveled through tourism circles, Chief Executive Director of the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Authority, Noorani Aziz, has expressed that situations like these can be detrimental for future tourism investments.
The accommodations sector is a highly competitive aspect of the tourism offerings in St. Lucia. These investors perhaps put forward the highest volume of investment as it relates to brick and mortar and setting up these establishments. We continue to lament that the high cost of doing business in St. Lucia, the absence of an ease of doing business protocol, the challenges with getting matters addressed as it relates to private sector concerns, all mitigate, converge to make business a very challenging task.
Aziz stated that although the Blue Hotel was not a member of the SLHDA, this situation remains one of concern for the entire sector because of the foreseeable backlash that he believes can arise out of this. Also, that the matter must dutifully be addressed.
Being the Hotel Association, we are concerned about that type of negative impact on members. Blue is not a member of the SLHDA, but nevertheless, we feel the repercussions and the ripple of job losses. As a destination, we have got to respond to the negative criticisms of guests, perhaps, who were unfortunately displaced as a result of the speed with which the property was shut down. And we have got to approach it as a collective.
According to Aziz, ongoing dialogue between the SLHDA, SLTA, and the Ministry of Tourism is beginning to bring solutions to the problem that the closure of the Blue Hotel has created.
In order to ensure that we address guest concerns, we address the issues of job loss, and we have provisions for those who have been displaced immediately as a result of the closure. So that conversation is ongoing. Unfortunately, this is not something that we necessarily have a textbook response for, and we have got to approach it on a case-by-case basis. What is an asset to us is that we have got clear lines of communication between the executive and technical levels, between the public authorities and the private sector. And we can only hope that going forward, those channels, those open channels of communication will serve us well.
As tourism remains big business in the Caribbean region, more and more accommodations are strengthening their product. Aziz believes that the closure of the Blue Hotel has struck a blow to the tourism industry in St. Lucia. St. Lucia, however, as a nation, must recover as a unit and ensure that it remains a premier destination in the eyes of visitors. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
The Police Force's Traffic Department is ramping up efforts to clamp down on motorcycle violations. Given a noted influx of motorcycles within the city circuit The aim is to avert accidents and possible loss of life during the busy festive season. Motorcycles are sometimes referred to as big boy toys, and for the police force, the concern is that they are being treated as such. The level of care and attention required while riding a motorcycle is simply not being adhered to by many riders. Motorcycle violations remain a perennial problem. Offenses range from riding without a helmet to no registration. The hazards exist not only for motorcycle riders, but also other road users and pedestrians. This is due to what police say is the reckless manner in which some riders bob and weave through traffic.
We, the traffic department, observed that quite a few of the motorcycle riders traverse the road without headgears, and it's an offense in the traffic act to ride a motorcycle without helmets. And also within the city, we observe that most of those riders traverse moving through the city among vehicles in a dangerous manner. And as you are aware that the Christmas season is coming on, the city is very, very busy at this time.
The police force is not sitting idly by waiting for catastrophe to strike. The department has put a plan of action in place and says every effort is being made to clamp down on the violations, as it is the mandate of the traffic department to control and curtail any form of illegal driving.
The traffic department has embarked on an enforcement drive. We have an increased patrol within the city and also on the highways. During those last week, we have had an operation where we impounded a number of motorcycles. As you can see, one of the motorcycles that was involved in the accident over the weekend fled the scene, and we're investigating as to who the rider of this motorcycle was.
Given that motorcycle riders are extremely vulnerable on the road from an injury perspective, police continue to stress the importance of wearing proper protective gear, including a helmet. St. Lucian hoteliers and business owners are being warned not to get complacent amid statistics which show that the island's tourism sector is at an all-time high. Norani Aziz is urging members of the sector to keep their guards up. Rochelle Gonzalez tells us more.
The Chief Executive Officer and Executive Vice President of the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association has issued a warning to business owners within the local tourism sector. Nurani Aziz has asked hoteliers and other business owners to keep their guards up and to not allow news of visitors to the island being at an all-time high to steer them off course. Aziz said he is indeed excited to hear about the increase in visitor numbers to the island. However, there is no time to get complacent.
But when we look at how we stand regionally, we realize that there is stiff competition. There are other there are other islands in the region who are pursuing the same markets that that we have got a presence in. So it means that we have got to raise and it is not an inexpensive proposition to visit St. Lucia. So we have got to put our best foot forward at all times.
Aziz asserted that whilst it is easy to take the laid-back approach towards the island's assets, one must always remember the bottom line and where it comes from.
We have got to ensure that matters that we probably take for granted because we reside here year-round are not overlooked when it comes to engagement with visitors. So we have got to ensure that our standards of service, like I said, continue to grow as we compete in a highly competitive environment.
According to statistics released by the Caribbean Tourism Organization, CTO, St. Lucia hit an all-time high in total visitor arrivals in 2017, when a total of 1,105,541 travelers visited the island's shores. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
With human resource being touted as the most important resource that a business can possess, one human resource professional is weighing in on how having the right human resource management can make or break your business. Solange Alfred reports.
A healthy working environment, proper motivation, and training can ensure that employees remain loyal to a business for a very long time. However, manager in the Department of Justice Civil Status Registry, Sarah Dupree-Cotter, believes when businesses do not take the time to perform proper human resource management, their businesses will suffer. Dupree-Cotter explained that in order for a business to reach its full potential, its most vital resource, human resource, should receive the best quality management.
Your human resources are the heart of your business. They are the most important asset, okay? And so you need to invest. You need to invest in, number one, having a properly structured human resource management department with trained personnel to carry out their human resource management functions, persons with the correct skill set so that your employees, they receive the necessary training, development opportunities, they are motivated, persons are empathetic towards their needs, and to just ensure that your employees are taken care of. If you take care of your employees, they will in turn take care of your business and by extension your customers.
Dupree-Cotter believes that this new era of workers deserves a new mode of recruitment and processing. She explains that the current human resource management style is deserving of a shift from the traditional way of interviewing to ensure the individual chosen is comprehensively assessed.
We should think about personality testing as part of the selection process, so we can match persons based on their personalities and certain traits so that we could fit persons into the correct jobs as opposed to sticking to the traditional forms of selection.
Effective human resource management does not end at training. Consistent management and motivation efforts are needed to keep staff morale high. The HR professional went on to explain that motivation should not only be monetary.
There are various things that we could do as managers to keep staff motivated. It's not just money. Yes, we know money is a great motivator, but the effects of money don't last very long. But providing people with rewarding work, opportunities to use their expertise, their skills, giving them some autonomy, some freedom to act, a good working environment, effective leadership and supervision on the job, all of these can assist with staff motivation.
Dupree-Cotter expressed the importance of a well-trained, unbiased professional being a core part of the development of the business to bring about not just growth of the business, but growth of the chosen employee. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
Two St. Lucians will form part of the 2018 cohort of Commonwealth scholars. Mario J. Chico and Daniel C. Gordon joined fellow scholars from other low and middle-income Commonwealth countries at this year's Commonwealth Scholarship Commission Welcome event, which was held in London last Friday, that's the 23rd of November. Both Mario and Daniel are recipients of full-time master's degree scholarships under the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission development-related themes of science and technology for development and strengthening global peace, security, and governance. The scholars are said to be heavily invested in the sustainable development of St. Lucia. The scholarships enable talented and motivated individuals like Daniel and Mario to gain the knowledge and skills for sustainable development. This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Still to come, St. Lucia steadies its pace to meet the deadline to eliminate HIV/AIDS, and the public is being advised to drive cautiously this festive season. Don't go anywhere, we have more news coming up after the break.